Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm getting back to Cupid today, and if you don't remember what happened in this game, neither do I. Oh no, I do remember that our friend died. And that she was no longer friends with him. I can't remember his name. He's like, it sounds Spanish for some reason, even though like they're French. But then French does kind of sort of sound like Spanish. So anyway, they're no longer friends. She doesn't trust him. She did that weird thing where she like threw up bloody nails. It was kind of disgusting. So that's what I remember. Let's continue. Yeah. Anyway, Rosa entered the room with a tray of pastries and a pot of tea. Her duties were finished and she was allowed a bit of free time. She thought of accompanying Catherine for today's piano lesson. Kath, do you want some tea? The girl didn't look her way. She continued to churn out the bitter, melancholic sound from her piano. Is this a flashback? Rosa sighed, her shoulders slumped in defeat. She placed the food on the table. She sat on a stool beside the piano, twiddling her thumbs while her friend continued to stew in her foul mood. Is that a new composition? It sounds nice. Nowadays, you make a new piece every day. It's a shame they're also sad. Catherine didn't reply to that, but when she spoke again, her words were bitter. I saw them again, those degenerate louds. No shame at all. And, like, it seems like a bit of time, like, years have passed. And they were not clear about that. I remember, like, it was like no time passed. It was like the end of her concert, and then she's dead, and it was like, what? What? Hey, alright, consenting damn adults and all that. At least they have the decency to close the door. What? Sometimes I dare say that they want to get caught. When I walked in on them this morning, eating each other's faces, they had this look on them, like they were daring me to say something. Wait, yeah, is that has to have you actually spelled, right? Hey, or is that something else? I don't know, or care at this particular moment. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Do they want my applause? It's a very nice technique, sire. I very much like the way you swap your spit, my sister. Great tongue action. I'm trying to think of how you say 3 in French. I don't know, whatever. And he even has the gall to speak to me? I don't understand. Was he like, did he imply at any point that there was a relationship between, like, love relationship between him and Catherine, and then like she caught him with his sister? Because I don't honestly see why they would have to sneak around. I'm confused. You'll be a dear and put them on the table, Catherine, he even said. Like I'm a soft-headed giggle mug of a maid. He wanted me to get annoyed. I just know it. Well, okay. I am. Catherine turned to the tea and pastry, stuffing the buttered bread into her mouth. Easy there. These damn things. These damn delicious things. She said the last part angrily, as if she blamed her troubles on the food's relish. Rosa giggled in spite of herself. Catherine wiped her mouth in mock anger. What are you laughing at, wench? It's almost comical to watch you eat when you're angry, Kath. You're like the giant monsters that attack defenseless towns in horror books. Oh yes. Catherine made tiny squeals and picked up another piece of bread. No, please spare us. Okay, honestly, if you ever see anybody eat fast, yeah. She adjusted her voice and boomed out a roar. The Catherinian monster of the deep doesn't show mercy to anyone. So they're still kids. She dropped it in her mouth and chewed savagely. Yum. Annihilation is delicious with tea. The two girls giggled. Catherine's weird smile turned into a rueful laugh. And soon, Rosa felt her mood turning somber again. What happened anyway? Aren't you annoyed by it too? Sister has changed ever since she started helping in the chateau. Now it's all Guillerme this, Guillerme that. As if she weren't already... Okay. As if she wasn't already married. Okay, but it's just... She's married probably for responsibility. Like... I can't... In a time when everyone was forced into marriages, it was like... I guess just don't get caught. She's an aristocrat, and you're not like poor women didn't get forced into marriages too. Like, she probably doesn't like her husband. Her husband don't like her, most likely. And she doesn't even care that people are talking behind her back. I'm tired of running around picking fights with gossipers, but then you don't have to pick fights. She ain't asking you to do that. And she hasn't even visited her home for a long time. Father misses her a lot. He always asks about her. Father had worked so hard all these years just to give us a comfortable life. Now he is sick and all she cares about is that dastardly Marquis. Rosa shrugged. I am a little bit annoyed, but I guess I've gotten used to it. Their lives are their own, Kath. She didn't dare divulge more than that to Catherine, but it was partially true. I like Guillerme. He's a nice friend. But I love my sister. If they want to stay together, then why not fix this and have at it? But what irritates me to my damn snatch... Okay, that was not a sentence I was expecting to read today. Fucking start all over. But what irritates me to my dear snatch is the way they are with each other. Catherine recently found the use of expletives endearing in her speech. Okay. Rosa hoped it was a phase. I mean, it's fucking funny though. We so uptight about it. Because they are miserable. Any halfway could see that. I don't know. Yes. I've told Emily? I'm saying Emily, I don't care. Time and again to smarten up. She's hurting a lot of people, including herself. But as if she would listen to her 16-year-old brat of a sister, Even Guillerme is depressed. I can tell. Remember when he used to come and visit us to have tea? Us here to have tea. Or when we used to have picnics in the afternoon, where you were like 7 and now you're 16. I guess he feels he doesn't have to keep up the pretense anymore. And we used to run around chasing rodents in the garden. You ran around. We just watched you get dirty, actually. That's very true, you nitheads. Back then it used to be fun visiting the chateau. Nowadays we barely even see him. He just stays in his bureau all day, brooding. Is it something adults subject themselves to, like a torture ritual? I really don't understand why two people who are clearly unhappy keep at it. Rosa did understand. At least some part of her did. She couldn't exactly explain how pain and love worked. All she knew was that it had something to do with an absurd, obsessive amount of hope. She felt Mother tugging at her mind. She loved Mother so much. Living with the Paredes gave her ample comparison to her former life. She had finally accepted that her mother was cruel. And yet, Mother still gave her love and kept her from wanting. Was that crazy? Perhaps it was the only love she needed. Perhaps it was what she deserved. Rosa shook the thoughts off her mind and just shrugged. I know you're worried about your sister, Kath. but they will figure it out. Humans learn. Look at you, all profound and such. You read any good books lately? Just a riveting account of the Ugly Duckling and Baba Black Sheep. Ah, the classics. I don't know how you put up with it, though. I hate reading words. In order to write, I have to learn how to read first. I want to write. What would you do a dastardly thing like writing? What? What is dastardly about writing? Hey, why would you want to hit some crazy? Why would you want to hit some crazy strings until your fingers bleed? The two friends laughed again. I want to remember things. I want to write them down. But most of all, I want to feel the way you do when you play the piano, Cat. Oh. The way you look when you play. You are passion and bliss in musical form. It feels like love. Like magic. Yeah. You inspire me to do something fulfilling and grand. Well, I'm sure you will. I don't know. Hey, why not write a play one day? No. Let's do it. You write an amazing play, and I shall provide the music. We'll travel around the country and perform. Well, this is sad now. We'll make lots and lots of money and gain lots of followers. We shall be known as the Parade Caravan of Wonders. Parade? Or is it parade? Like, that's what she's like, parade. Are you sure? Puns are the best. Trust me. That sounds darn batty, Kathy. Ugh. Fun is day 4. Nobody's allowed to call me Kathy ever again. The sound of a knock interrupted their giggles. Oh gosh. Well, at least it's Emily. I thought it was gonna be Guillerme, and I was just like, dude, they don't want to see you right now. They don't want to see Emily either, but I mean, at least it's not Guillerme. Yeah, I need to discuss something important with you. Frustrated, Catherine pouted at the sound of his sister's voice. She turned back to her piano and began to pound a sarcastically happy tune. Rosa stood up to open the door. Hello, Rosa. Madam. She had seen little of the older Parade's, I'm going to say Parade now, Parade's sister, and it astounded her how old she ever begun to look. He probably draining her fucking life. To be completely, like, 100% honest, like, not even sarcastic. Like, that's why I think he's draining her life. Her once radiant face looked tired and harrowed, almost crone-like. Under her eyes hung huge bags. And yet she still looked quite dignified, full of pride and pomp. There was extra rouge on her skin and her demeanor was elegant. It was as if pride was her only source of nourishment these days. Are they not going to give her a model? Yeah, do you mind giving Catherine and me a moment of privacy? Rosa gave a small bow. Of course not, madam. Rosa gathered her nursery books and squeezed Catherine's shoulder before stepping out of the room. Rosa entered the quiet room of the library. She was about to approach the table when she noticed Guillerme already occupying his seat. Maybe you should leave? He was writing something in a book, somewhat immersed in the activity. Rosa stopped dead in her tracks. Leave now while he is not looking, child. Just go in and ignore him. Leave, get out. You are in danger. Danger. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far. Okay, what are you doing just standing there? He is going to see you. Leave now while you still have the chance. Alright, mother, maybe you're right. Of course. Of fucking course. Unfortunately, Guillerme lifted his head and saw her by the door. Oh, hello, Rosa. Rosa took a step back. Maybe it was best to walk away as if this were a mistake. But wouldn't that be rude? He had already seen her after all. I would just be, oh, good morning. Bye. But she had never been alone with him. It was just too awkward. Well, then get the fuck out. Well, why not just go in? It was going to be fine. Oh, Lord have mercy. They had conversed normally before. Yet, that was because Catherine had been around to disperse her awkwardness. Now I look like an idiot. Guillerme watched her pace in front of the door in amusement. Rosa decided to go in. She had already embarrassed herself enough anyway. There was little left to lose. I got a bad feeling about this. Like, I feel like anyone who has suffered like really bad, like secondhand embarrassment, just fast forward, because I feel like this is just gonna be bad. Like, this is gonna be absolutely fucking cringeworthy. I got a bad feeling. Okay. Besides, there was nowhere else to go in this big house. Really? She had already gotten lost in his hallways, much to the annoyance of the maitre d'. The library was her favorite place. If she stayed quietly in one corner, Rosa was sure they wouldn't bother each other. She took a seat at the farthest corner of the table and opened her book. There's only one table? You have a whole library, you have one table? Okay, waste of your freaking fortune. Yeah, oh no, he's actually standing up and walking over. No, you horrible man. Just sit over there while I sit over here. Okay, but that is definitely what I would say if I wanted to go to the library and read, and like I saw somebody walking toward me, and be like, are you for real? Like, just don't. Oh my God, he's coming over here. But Guillerme was already beside her, peeking at what she was reading. A cold sweat spread on her scalp. What was that book? Rosa began to chatter nervously. No. I know it's a children's book, sorry. I'm teaching myself to read. I know most commoners don't really bother, but I want to learn. So please don't laugh or mock me. Guillerme pointed to the book. Is it upset? You shouldn't be able to tell that from the cover. Like, even if it's like, you'd be like, look at the cover, like, you if Kira ignores, like, this is not right. It's, turn it over. Okay. Rosa stared at it. The ducks in the picture had their feet up in the air. Rosa squirmed, feeling the heat on her cheeks. She couldn't think of anything more embarrassing. I'm sorry. Guillerme's face lost its chair. What do you need my forgiveness for? Rosa looked at Guillerme. Stop trying to act nice. His eyes lacked the gentle glint they usually had. It was such a subtle change, something felt rather than observed. She thought he would reprimand her further. His face certainly looked like it. Wait, reprimand? How did he, what? Instead, he sat down beside Rosa, drumming his fingers on his cheek while he watched her wordlessly. Well, weren't you going to read? Weren't you standing over my fucking shoulder? Yeah. What was wrong with him today? He didn't seem like himself. Picking a new target is what he's doing. But anyway, had he eaten something bad? The aura he exuded was not his usual friendly warmth. Yet it wasn't particularly wicked. The look on his face just read slightly and eternally miffed. Well, he can go take his bad attitude somewhere else. I don't got shit to do with it. I'm just saying. Rosa turned the book upright and read the words out loud. Once I can't like not read. It's weird. Okay, that is the U with the short sound. It is pronounced like this. Guillerme made the sound, his face still in his lazy stare. Rosa nodded and continued. Her nerves were frazzled, but she was actually at ease in his presence. She felt like a child being taught by their parent. Their parent was strict, but still caring. And the child was jumpy, but eager to learn and please. Most of all, he would not hurt her for her mistakes. Rosa was almost sure. There lived, not German, lived, the past tense of live. Why do we change it? It's a rule of grammar that grammar. Guillerme narrowed his eyes at her. Do you even know your alphabet? Rosa shook her head. You should start there. Guillerme rose from his chair and disappeared amongst the shelves. He left behind an old thick book covered in green felt. This was what he had been writing in earlier. Don't you look? Just please don't look. It looked tattered and worn. The pages lay fat on its side that the book didn't close properly. Well, see, this what you get? Don't be nosy. Even though like, I would wonder, but I wouldn't actually look. I would just wait till it was like I was standing up and it was just like conveniently close enough for me to see the title just by glancing over without actually turning my head. So it was just like, if you're gonna be nosy, come up with tricks, alright? Like, you can't just and be all in people's business. Dang. Okay, you are not to touch that. Rosa's whole body froze at the size. Wow. At the sound of Guillerme's warning. Guillerme still followed her even as she whispered numerous apologies under her breath. He said, I'm sorry. Guillerme just rolled his eyes. You're always seeking forgiveness for everything. Am I? No, don't say something. I would probably be tempted to say sorry too. His hand struck the table in front of Rosa. In a quiet library, the sound rang uncomfortably in her ear. When she looked up, Guillerme's face was looming severely above hers. Did I not say he was picking his next target? Watch this. I'm not being paranoid. I know he's picking his next target. Well, he moved closer to her, his eyes fixed on her intensely. Rosa's mouth hung open. She struggled to say something, but her words were like the burning ends of a matchstick. Before she could compose herself, she felt Guillerme's hand lift her chin. Rosa's heart thumped loudly inside her chest. Please don't. Not you too. She felt his breath on her face and her heart sank into despair. She shut her eyes for the words, like she always did when... Then she felt her face being turned from side to side. She opened her eyes to see Guillerme studying her face like a textbook. You're a fairly attractive girl. And you aren't attractive at all, so... Maybe don't be so judgmental. The way you carry yourself as if it is a slight. He lifted the hair that hit her damaged eye. Rosa clenched her teeth. Is it because you were hurt before? He said it so matter-of-factly, like he was stating that the sky was blue. Rosa recoiled from his touch. No. I did that to myself. I wasn't talking about your eye. He placed a book on the table. It was a thin pamphlet filled with letters. There were lines on the book that instructed the user to trace letters with their quill. Rosa wanted to focus on it, but she could feel the truth in the Marquis's words stinging her. It was the way you went limp when I touched you. Next time, I advise you to fight back. If you don't want to be touched, then you don't have to be. Do you understand this? But I am weak. Says who? If you freaking say like mother, he's gonna be like, who the fuck? Don't go there. His eyes are humorless. But it's like, can you not be so creepy because like I kinda like agree with you on this particular point, but can you not be so creepy about it? The world cares not for people who think of themselves as victims, Rosa. If you need power, then be powerful. To have it is necessary to crush things along the way. Do you see what I mean by being fucking creepy and weird? Rosa flinched under the weight of his stare. She realized that the playing courtier's Guillerme was but a facet. It was still him, but it was nothing but an oil portrait, an artwork of his devising. Synthetic, aloof, and irrelevant. It couldn't capture his essence in a few human strokes. Suddenly, Rosa realized he was powerful. Who are you? She caught herself before saying it aloud. You are not Guillerme. And yet, he spoke to her as if he knew what it was like to hurt and to fear. If you don't start acting like you own yourself, then people will not hesitate to take everything. He laid out the rest of the books he had brought out. One was an activity book for children. It had a picture of a child holding an apple with an arrow stuck in it. Another was a book of limericks. Like, I was gonna say, like, is that like a book on Cupid or something? But then it's like, no, it's an apple. The other two were thicker books that intimidated her. She would come to know them as Hamlet and Paradise Lost. Okay, no, Hamlet is, like, for a fact. Paradise Lost, I'm a little unsure about. Because, like, I've heard that title, like, as in reference to something, but I can't remember what. But the one that caught her eye was an ornately designed book. It had a beautiful red jacket with delicate gold trimmings lining the corners. The gods and goddesses of Roman mythology. This would be her favorite book, her treasure, and she knew it like love at first sight. These books are yours. Take them with you. Read the thin ones first, and then gradually build your vocabulary with the thicker ones. Rosa ran her hands over the skin of the red book. She opened the cover gingerly, as if carefully unwrapping a present. Thank you. No thanks needed. I simply showed you some books from a portion of the library you were unaware of. You're still so generous, even if you're like this. Like what? That? What? Somewhat irritable. Guillerme didn't reply, leaving an awkward silence lingering between them. Then he gave a giant laugh that made Rosa jump out of his skin. I do look damn irritable, don't I? Why? Is it because of Emily? Guillerme's eyes drifted away. No. I've always been what? Like, always been like this? Okay, you just pointed it out. But you're not usually like this. Especially with Catherine and the townspeople. I find it easy to adapt to people, especially to the ones I like. So is she saying that you don't like Rosa? Dang. Guillerme looked at Rosa as if he had just become aware of her presence. Makes me wonder why I am so stern with you. I'm sorry. Rosa shook her head. I somehow prefer this side of you. Guillerme cocked his head to the side. He brought out, you know it's because he becomes whatever people want him to be. That's why they see him at like this kind, just benevolent guy, and he's just like, he's never mad, and he just becomes that. But she is used to people being cruel and like unforgiving and just very, very strict, like the way she envisions that mother's voice in her head, which we still don't know if it's an actual spirit or not. Well, I don't. Like, someone who's already played this knows. And I feel like that's why he's like this, and why she's saying like she likes it, she prefers it to his other side. He brought out the green book that Rosa noticed earlier. This is called a journal. Okay, when you learn to write, start one. What is it? Something you use to remember yourself when you've forgotten. Does it work? It used to. Nowadays, not anymore. So are you still writing in it? Oh. The act itself is the only thing I remember. Now, let's start with your vowels. A scream pierced the halls of the chateau. It was Catherine. Guillerme sprinted to the door with Rosa not far behind. Okay, I'm sorry to anyone who actually got, like, scared by that jump scare, because I just kind of went, oh. And then moved on, and that was it. Like, it didn't even have, like, a full outward reaction. Yeah, wow. Okay. Back in the piano room, Catherine took a shaky step towards her sister. Like, what'd she do? Throw herself on the freaking piano? She wasn't moving at all. I didn't. It was an accident. Emily? She was overcome with the urge to approach her sister and would shake her awake. It's a little hard to read that over. I don't know why. Could make sure she was okay, but it was a nasty fall. The heck? Emily? Catherine should have. She killed her sister. on accident, but, Catherine saw the way her sister's head snapped back as it collided with the sharp corner of the piano. She watched it all like a series of photographs in her head. She had to check on her, but her feet refused to move. Instead, she began to retreat into a corner. She didn't even notice her legs were moving until her forehead touched the wall. She didn't want to turn around. Her sister was on the floor. Her eyes were still open, unblinking. Well, then you don't really need to check on her because at that point it would just be denial. Okay. It was an accident. It was nothing but an accident. Was it? She pushed first. She got really scary. She strangled me. Well, then it was self-defense. What? That's absurd. Are you sure? Would she do that? I don't know. I think she did. Catherine touched her throat. You know if someone strangled you or not. It felt fine. That Parade girl? Emily, is it? I think I changed. That might be like the fourth time I changed the name. I don't know what it is supposed to be. She really believes just because the Marquis took in that he's interested in her. Well, she's obsessed with the master. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What? Wasn't her mother a bit, not right in the head? It probably was in the family. Emily had looked mad. Her eyes had burned with malice for her as she closed her fingers around Catherine's neck. So she tried to kill her because she thought Guillerme would, prefer, Catherine instead of her. Is that what they're trying to imply? But she couldn't remember if that had really happened. Sister was always kind to her. She would never ever hurt her, even when they got into fights. Well, that was before. Sister loved her. Yeah, that was before. Am I turning mad? I have the blood of a mad woman. That's not how it works. Am I going to end up like her? I only told her the truth. Guillerme doesn't care for her. And she doesn't even care for him that much either. It was all just... I don't understand what that word means. Fake? Because, I can understand. No sense trying to make everyone else miserable, too. But she called me jealous and a bitch. She had never called me a bitch. She said they had decided to send me away. My lessons sent home. The piano was replaced. It was my own good, she said. I don't have to travel here all the time. But then it was like, well, can you give me the money for the lessons? And then, I have them at home and I don't have to come here and see you too? Because that would be perfectly fine. Yeah, I can concentrate on my other endeavors. I can make new friends. Do you have friends? But no, she just didn't want me near the chateau or Guillerme. She hates it when I catch her with him. Perhaps this morning was the last straw? She hates it, but she also smacks at me when I see them. Like she basks in it. That's a bit contradictory, and I don't understand. I think I might hate her. Catherine's thought ran through her head like a storm. They poured out of her aimlessly. I wonder if the piano is broken. Am I going to pay for it? What will become of us without sister's wages? What of father's medicine? What of my dreams? Sister can't be dead. Sister can't be dead. No. Catherine brought her fingers to her lips and nibbled on her thumb. She didn't notice this. Her mind was preoccupied. She was in her corner of the wall, biting her fingers. It was a tiny comfort in a rapidly collapsing world. Oh, jeez. Guillerme opened the door and found Emily lying on the floor. An ugly gash broke the skin of her forehead. Facing the wall was Catherine, shivering like a leaf and viciously devouring one of her fingernails. He approached her cautiously. Catherine? Rose was out of breath, but still able to let out a gasp at the scene. Emily's lifeless eyes stayed up at nothing, while Catherine pressed herself into a corner. What had happened after she... What had happened after she had left? And really, that is not like an incorrect sentence. Rosa, will you call for help, please? See that someone checked on Emily. Rosa did as she was told, but what she really wanted to do was hug Catherine herself. Guillerme took a small step towards her. He called out her name slowly, coaxingly. Catherine turned her head, her thumb still on her lower lip. It was an accident, I swear. Of course it was, Catherine. Of course it was. She pushed me first. She wanted me sent away. She wanted me gone. You can tell me about it later. Let me take you away from this room. What have I done? Catherine fell to her knees and wept. Large sobs sucked the air out of her. Okay. You might as well just sit there. I don't know that there's anything you could do right now, like at this exact moment. She felt like drowning, trying to keep herself afloat in between sobs. Every exhale was a squeezing pain in her lungs. She felt Guillerme's arms wrap around her. What have I done? What have I done? You pushed your sister against... No, okay, you know what? She didn't do anything. Ma chérie? Okay, yeah. Because you basically say it like it's one word. Or it always sounds like it's one word. This is not your fault. There was a bitter bulge building up in her throat, and she felt that no amount of crying could push her back down. What am I going to do? Father is... Sister, I'm so scared. I think, like, I don't know how rich he is, but he can't afford some medicine. He just like... This woman's composing a new pieces of music every day. Maybe she doesn't need maybe she doesn't need lessons every day. Just lessons once a month or something. Okay, Guillerme's arms wound tighter around her, and she clutched onto his warmth in this vast sea of fear. You don't have to be. I will always be by your side. Catherine, I will take care of you and your father, alright? You don't have to worry about your future. Her tears soaked his shirt through, but the squeezing in her chest felt less painful. Oh, why? Why do you do this? Why do you care so much for me? Guillerme's brows furrowed, as if confused as she even asked. I just do. It was a boldly stated fact, as if painfully obvious, as if Catherine was a fool for not knowing it. It made Catherine's heart expand in her ribs. When she looked back, she would recall this at the moment she fell in love with him. Okay. The look in his eyes was reassuring and strong. She wasn't alone. She was going to be alright. Let's get you away from here. So are they just gonna be like, oh, his sister was, she was just walking and she slipped and she accidentally hit the piano. Fine, it's fine. It's sad, but, it's fine. Nothing happened here. He supported her arms and stood her up, careful to block the view of his sister from her eyes. He led her to the door. Catherine hated how fast her relief came. She was still drenched in sorrow at her sister's death. Her father would not take well to the news, especially in his health. But she was alright, and she hated it. Rosa was with her. She didn't have to leave her piano, her dreams, him. Nothing had to change. And most importantly, she hated the voice that came whispering in her head over and over again. Thank goodness she's dead. Thank goodness. The fuck is wrong with this family, though? The first candle is lit. This candle is storage. The love for familiars. The cleanest love. Rosa stared at the blue candle glowing in her hand as she chanted her spell. Trusted the veil that conceals and deceives. Stick his eyes in his heart with the warmth from this candle's flame. Trick his eyes in his heart with the warmth from this candle's flame. A bond of blood like kin will be forged. Weave this trust so his tongue will yield to what is salt. Salt. I'm gonna go with that one. Rosa stood by Catherine's tomb, nursing memories of her. The soft wind lightly blew her hair. That's a cute outfit. I'm sorry. It reminded her of Catherine and her playful ways. Tears sprouted from her eye. Even the wind. We are, as often as possible, not be mean. Yeah, I'm always here, my love. Loss will always hurt. But you love Mother the best, don't you? Yes, Mother. Then you're going to be fine. I will never leave you like Catherine did. Well, if you're a ghost, I mean. Rosa. Yeah. Guillerme's soft voice came from behind. Rosa glanced at him in acknowledgement. He stood quietly beside her for a few moments, but ventured to speak. Have you thought about my offer? My house is always open for you, remember that. I'm sorry for my outburst back then. It's nothing. The wind played around their feet, and Rosa pictured Catherine as part of the breeze, playful and free. She was free from the pain and the confusion that had plagued her in her last days. They stood beside each other in solemn reverence. Finally, Rosa broke the silence. She was my family. I was in pain when she came along. I didn't know any better. She gave me hope. She was bright, like a flame. When I close my eyes, I can still see the imprint of her light in the darkness. I can feel her warmth. A star. They didn't speak again for some time. Guillerme cleared his throat. I was an orphan too, much like you. I know what it feels like to lose too much. I wandered for a long time before I found anything to live for. Were you alone? Sometimes. Always. Rosa nodded. Did you have family? Guillerme shifted uncomfortably. He just said he was an orphan. No, they left me behind. I never knew them. How are you on my key? Much of my memory of it is blurred. I was taken in by kind people once before, but Guillerme sighed and Rosa observed a certain disquiet in him. I didn't belong. But you have no difficulty mingling with people. I think of that as a necessity rather than a preference. But either way, it can be quite tiresome after a while. Things don't last. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I am making the mood worse. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Guillerme had never opened up to her about his past before, and it worried Rosa how little she actually knew about him. Anyway, would you like to go around town? I'd very much like to take you someplace more cheery. How about our favorite spot? Guillerme smiled with understanding. I thought they were going to go to the library I don't know. The pair traveled up a hill at the edge of town. There, the view overlooked the quaint village. The sunset painted everything in the pink glow of dusk, of endings. It is always so beautiful here. They used to spend time in this grassy knoll, the three of them. It was their own little hideaway. Memories of the past crept up on every corner. The ghosts of laughter echoed in the wind. Rosa touched the trunk of the small tree they had carved their names on. So many fond memories. Rosa, I want you to have this. Guillerme took Rosa's hand and placed an item in her palm. What was that? It was a simple silver locket. She looked up at him questioningly. I have had that for as long as I can remember. one of my remembrances of the past. I can't take this. You must. You need it more than I do. But it's old and the locket doesn't even open anymore. I don't know why I felt onto it for so long. So why are you giving it to me? I can't even remember how I came to have it. But it comforts me. Maybe it will have the same effect for you. This is your treasure, Guillerme. It feels wrong to take it. On the contrary, I believe you must have it. Call it a hunch or a feeling. An urge on my part. I am not good at expressing sorrow or even giving comfort. But I want to do something, at least, for you. He closed his hand over hers, affirming the gift. It's yours. Please take it. You are wrong if you think I'm letting you stay in the castle simply for Catherine's sake. I do it of my own accord. Let me do this for you, Rosa. We have been friends for quite a while. If you need to leave, at least stay until you feel ready to go. All right. But I will continue working in your household for my lodging. You don't have to do that. I can raise your status to a lady. You can read and write now, and very well. I'm sure you will be more comfortable in a higher position. I have no need for a higher position. Just free access to your library. You have come a long way from the shy girl back then, Rosa. Watching you go has been a pleasure. Yes, the library is yours. They were quiet for a while, only conversing through looks, smiles, and tiny sighs. Rosa realized that she had been holding onto Guillerme's hand all that time. She broke off from his hold, rather embarrassed. We should head back. You're right, it's getting quite late. Guillerme walked over to the carriage to get it ready. Excellent, child. Being a maid in his household will give you free access to the rooms. He trusts you completely. It seems that the candle worked. I guess so. Wouldn't it just be fucking great if he knows that you're doing like spell work on him and he's just like, okay, that's how we're gonna play it? Okay. Rosa looked at the silver necklace in her hand. She fiddled with it, trying to open the lock. Open it, 'cause I'm curious. Open that locket. I'd like to see what is inside. An object that he owns will make any enchantment more powerful. What if it's not his, though? Rosa fussed with the pendant for a while, but like Guillerme said, it was stuck. I'll try again later, Mother. I'm rather curious about it myself. The spell will start its effect in stages, gradually uncovering his true face. Fondness first, then trust. Familiarity. Rosa sighed. But was the spell necessary at all? Then she already had that with Guillerme. Rosa bit her lip, remembering the warmth of his hand. They had known each other for a long time. It was rather comforting to have someone to mourn with. However, Rosa did find it strange that Guillerme rarely even mentioned Catherine anymore. It was as if he was shutting her off like skin. Again, the pain in her throat resurfaced. The memory of the needles made her stomach lurch. Since her friend had died, the Marquis had begun spending all his hours locked in his office. He barely showed himself socially, rarely even attended meals. But they were casting a powerful spell, something that might harm Guillerme. What if he was, after all, innocent? She had years of good memories with him. What was she even expecting to find out? Exactly how could she live with the guilt of two dead friends? How would... if he was innocent, then he would just... nothing would change. Rosa sighed. She cared for him. Despite all the suspicion, she knew that much. But Mother was adamant. 3 candles for 3 loves. A fitting curse for a man who frolics in love's domain. Storage, the love for familiars. Philia, the love for friends. And Eros, the love for lust. Open his heart with storage. Unmask him with Philia. Strike him down with Eros. Yet Rosa kept a fourth candle. One she had named Agape, unconditional love. No, I'm not gonna say that because I think I could have guessed how that was pronounced. She didn't know whether she would ever use it. Mother, of course, would object. But just in case Eros successfully struck Guillerme, she wished to light Agape. Why? At least give him peace before. Rosa walked towards Guillerme, a pang of anxiousness biting at her. Like, what the fuck to be? Like, is he literally gonna die in the middle? That would be fucking horrible. Like, that would be horrifying. Just terrible. Why is my daughter? The work lays ahead. To bring him down, we must find his weakness. Then we attack. His due punishment will be swift, my dear daughter. Do it for mother. Not like Catherine. Okay, chapter 4, Metamorphosis. I'm going to cut it off here. It says the story is actually starting to pick up. Episodes might be like really long from here on out, just so we can try to get to the end of this game. Because like I wasn't actually expecting it to be super long, so yeah, there would probably be long. Just so we can finish this before like I said, I can't like do long videos with the new partnership limitations, but or I guess the fact that I'm basically being kicked out of the partnership program. But that aside, what do you guys think is in the locket? Because I don't know, like I'm kind of torn between thinking it is his locket, or I think something in that locket might actually give a hint to who the mother was in life. Maybe he knew the mother. That would be some shit. But what do you guys think? So let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and the link to this game, like everything I play, is in the description, so you go check that out if you don't want to wait for the next video and you just want to see what's happening right now. But yes, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.